What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Commentary for you. You know, you guys do such a good job responding to my videos, and it's funny to me that we have commentators right now that aren't talking about these issues. I put up a video, and you guys actually point things out to me, so much that I came back to do another video with this to talk about the details that are being missed here, and I guess that's where we need to come to an understanding. Connected Franchise Mode should be a very in-depth game mode, strictly revolving around minute details of running an NFL football team. And if we can come to that agreement, we'll be in a better place. I understand that to some of you, the game shouldn't know Andrew Luck's injury history, it shouldn't keep track of players' past injuries and make news stories out of them, and that's okay. That's your prerogative. I respect that the game is limited in what it can do. But there are some interesting things you guys took from that video, mainly if Andrew Luck has a dislocated shoulder and he's a quarterback, that would raise naturally an issue. Set all the other prior injuries aside. He didn't miss one game other than the one that we were playing. Jacoby Brissett, who is a quarterback, dislocates his ankle, just as immobilizing for a quarterback. He misses 8 weeks. The disparity there is very large. A quarterback would be just as limited throwing with a dislocated shoulder as he would be standing on one, truthfully, if not more. I mean, let's be honest. We've seen players go through injuries. If you had a quarterback with a dislocated ankle and he had to play, you could tape it up, you could put him in shotgun, everybody's going to know what you're going to do, but you're still going to give it a good shot. If you have a quarterback with a dislocated shoulder, he can't throw the ball. Now, something that Reed McElvoy picked out that I thought was astonishing, that I overlooked. I looked at the news stories from my team here, I realized they weren't geared to what was going on with my team, and I left it at that. Now, when it comes down to the detail we talked about, someone has to pay attention to that detail on the EA side. And this is where you really see how those details get overlooked. Don't take it for how small of a detail it is. Take it for how small of a detail that has been ignored. So, if you look back, Mark Schlereth here puts a tweet out that talks about how he's glad he's retired based on how Julius Peppers plays. Talks about the record watch. Now you can see on the left-hand side, uncontainable. Julius Peppers has every move in the book, and now he's 4th on the all-time sack list. Very generic, but gets the job done. Just like Trey Wingo talks about Eli Manning moving up on the who's who list of players, now 6th all-time passing. So we know fundamentally the game has some logic that says talk about players as they approach career milestones or begin to pass certain all-time lists and then have that actually happen. And it will make it seem like the game is aware of what's going on. That's kind of simple programming to do. What's not is selecting how things get spoke about, which is what makes what Reed picked out absolutely hilarious. So, right side of your screen, a number 1 option. Larry Fitzgerald has made a career out of being a reliable threat. Again, very generic line, but let's deal with that. He's moved past Larry Fitzgerald into 3rd place on the all-time receptions list. So you mean to tell me all the game cares about is the data. So when Larry Fitzgerald goes from 4th to 3rd, it's going to say Larry Fitzgerald passed Larry Fitzgerald. It's the same player. That is astonishing to me coming out of a AAA title. That is a mistake, truthfully, I expect to see an independent developer make. Or just cut this line out altogether. If you know that the game isn't capable of figuring out whether it's the same player breaking or passing their own milestone, just don't have that happen. This doesn't add a lot to the game, right? I don't think any more about this than I do what happened with Schlereth and Peppers or with Wingo and Manning. The only reason I'm drawn to it is because it's not done right, because no one paid attention to the detail, and that's the biggest problem we have with Madden. Someone really isn't paying attention to the details. And if you're not going to have somebody there that's paying attention to them, you have to have somebody in the community willing to talk about it. I don't want to be the bad guy and make this game look horrible. The game kind of does that for me, and I just show it to you. But these are the things that have to be fixed. This isn't a whole lot to ask for, you understand. When a player passes another player on an all-time list, I don't need to know that the player passed themselves. That actually becomes common knowledge. But not in the world of Madden 19 CFM. Or past Maddens for that matter. Love to know what you guys think about this. Appreciate you checking out. I'll be back very shortly with more commentary.